Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tia here. If you are new, please like and subscribe. But for today's video, I'm gonna be telling y'all how I am excited to turn 30. So basically right now I am 26 right now, and I'm gonna turn 27 in September. And I feel like now I'm at the age where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually aging, I'm actually getting old. I gotta, life actually does go on after 16. But anyways, I feel like the longest time when I was younger, obviously when you're younger, like 16, you used to think like, 21 and 22 is old. And then once you're 21, you think 25 is old. But then once you get to 25, you're like, oh wait, I'm actually still young. I'm still figuring out life. I'm technically a baby, right? And then once you hit 30, that's when you're like, oh, like life actually starts, because some people assume that you should have your shit together by 30, or like a lot of people have kids by then, blah blah blah, right? But in the end, we're all on different paths of life. So I don't know, I've set like a lot of goals over the past couple years. Some of them I completed, some of them I didn't, but I realized I pretty much have to do things at my own pace rather than just like set 100 goals, because if I don't finish all 100 by the next birthday or the next year, then I'm gonna be like disappointed in myself, and I'm like, oh well, sucks to suck, right? So I'm starting to just like not even set goals, not even write stuff down, any of that stuff. I'm kind of just like winging it, and it's like, if I exercise today, then at least I did it. I did something. I got out of bed and did something, right? And then of course I'll skip the next day, and it's like, oh well, I just didn't feel like exercising. And obviously, like, the goal is to be consistent and exercise like a little bit every day or every other day or whatever. But I feel like you got to start somewhere, okay? And I'm just trying to ease myself into doing things little by little rather than plunging in all at once, right? And I feel like ever since I turned 25, my mind kind of like, like a switch flipped in my mind, okay? People said, like, I don't know, apparently it's like a thing that your frontal lobe develops when you turn 25. I guess that's like the actual mature age or whatever. So technically, like, that's like the age where adulthood starts, not 21, not 18, okay? Like, people be thinking that they're adults when they're 18. Of course, we all did that, but like once you look back, like now looking back at my life, and I'm like, 18, I was still a baby. 21, I was still a baby. Even 23, 24, no, those ain't even serious years for real, right? So now that I'm entering my late 20s, I'm like, oh goddamn, I'm almost 30. And I used to look at it as like a negative thing, because obviously, like, society puts all this pressure on women, but, and they're like, oh, you can't have, well, they say like you can't have kids after 30, but obviously like the risk for defects and all that stuff goes up. And is, the birth is like dangerous when you get after 30. There's like just more risk and blah blah blah. And then like women's value is centered around their age or whatever, because like all of the industries in the world pretty much are focused around young women. And by that I mean, like, the modeling industry, and just like the TV and acting agency, and just men in general just obviously go after younger women. And I know that's not the woman's fault, it's just the men being creeps, but it's like literally just societal pressure just to look young and feel young, and never show your gray hair and never tell your age or whatever. And I don't know. So now that I'm actually turning 27, I'm excited for that. But I feel like once I hit 30, I'm gonna be in my prime, okay? Like, I thought I was in my prime a couple years ago just because I was like skinny, I was looking cute in my little crop tops and stuff. But now that my frontal lobe is developed, I don't even really like crop tops like that anymore. And I don't know if it's just because I'm gaining weight and I don't look good in them anymore, or like, I don't know. I just, like, now that I'm thinking, it's like I be walking around wearing half of a shirt. Like, yeah, I look sexy and everything, but like, where's the full shirt? Where's the rest of the shirt? Like, let me just, you can like be sexy but also be like modest at the same time, and blah blah blah, right? But yeah, once you hit 30, it's like a whole new thing. And I feel like I'm gonna be like in my actual prime when I turn 30, right? Because right now I'm in the awkward stage, how I'm kind of like in my second growth spurt or whatever, because I've gained like literally 20 pounds in like the last year, 6 months, I don't even know at this point. So right now I weigh like 130, and obviously everyone's like, oh, that's average, that's normal, blah blah blah, but like me, this is the biggest I ever been in my life, okay? But so I'm trying to cope with that right now. But after like I went on TikTok and I saw videos about like women in their 30s. They were posting like pictures of themselves from um late 20s, and then like once they hit like early 30s, and they looked better in their early 30s, you know, currently. And I was like, dang, like, so I guess like you have the magical weight gain in your late 20s, but then you figure out life and you go through shit, whatever, and then you bounce back and look snatched in your 30s, you know, like amazing. But just in general, I feel like 30, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna have that body right, because obviously like I feel like I won't have kids by then, just because that's only 3 years away, and I need to like meet somebody, get married, and then, you know, I don't know, it's just gonna be more than 3 years before I have kids, right? So I'm definitely gonna be an old parent if I do decide to bring kids into this world. I already know that, come to terms with it, blah blah blah. But after like I focus on like the physical appearance, I feel like I would have done a lot of work with my mental self as well, like just like thinking back and like seeing how I did things back then and how I do things now, and like just self-reflecting a lot. And I've noticed I do that a lot recently. Like I feel like when I was younger, like literally early 20s, I kind of just like made stupid mistakes, and then I wouldn't think about them or the consequences of my actions and shit like that, and then I would just be, you know, making stupid mistakes over and over again and whatever, and then have to deal with all of the effects of that, right? But now I'm kind of in the phase where I'm like, I don't really tell a lot of people about what I'm doing necessarily. Like I try and like finish my plans first and then tell people, you know, like even if I won the lottery, like I'm not telling people now. Like back then I would have been like, oh, I'm rich, I won the lottery, but now it's like if I win the lottery, I'm gonna like wait till the cash hits my account, and then even then I'm not gonna be like, oh, I won the lottery. I'm just gonna start buying stuff and you're gonna notice the difference, right? So I'm just like kind of moving in silence a little bit, even though like I do social media, I do tell y'all everything that's going on in my life. I post Instagram, TikTok, whatever. But I feel like a lot of people don't realize that just because somebody is a content creator or influencer doesn't mean they don't have a lot going on in their personal life or whatever. So I try to like motivate myself to like keep posting, keep being consistent, just like on YouTube in general, because I know YouTube is gonna last forever. Like Instagram is gonna disappear because it's boring as fuck. TikTok might get deleted fucking 3 months from now because of Trump. So like you never know about the future of these apps, right? But I feel like YouTube, since it's like the first original platform with like video recording and blah blah blah, I feel like YouTube is gonna be one of the ones that stay for a long time, you know. So that's why I try and document my whole life on here and all that. And I actually did, after I do this video, I'm gonna like record another video to where I'm like, you know, talking to my future self, and then I'm going to like schedule it like 3 years from now to when I turn 30, and then I'm gonna like watch it on my 30th birthday to see like, did I have kids? Am I married? Am I in a relationship? Do I have a good job? Like what's going on with my mental health? Blah blah, you know, like family, friends, whatever. Because I see people doing these things, how they like write a letter to their future self and they schedule it like, you know, to their email, to email themselves like 20 years from now and stuff like that. So I want to start leaving messages for my future self, and even if I am not accomplished when I am 30 or like 20 years from now, it's like at least I can look back on like this type of video and be like, oh wow, you know, at least I thought highly of myself back then, even if I'm still struggling like whatever when I'm like 50 years old and going through shit, right? Because you never know. And the thing is about that scares me too, is like you never know when you can die at the same time. So it's like, imagine I'm here scheduling all these videos like when I turn 30, when I turn 40, when I turn 50, blah blah blah, and then I just die tomorrow, and these videos are still posting, people are gonna be like, what the hell? Like, you know, it's gonna be a whole different world at that point. But still, I'm gonna still do it anyways, and it's gonna be on the internet forever. But you know, who cares? I totally got sidetracked, but anyways, yeah, I don't know, I'm just excited in general to turn 30. I used to like be so sad about it and be like, oh my gosh, like once I hit 30 I'm actually old. Oh my gosh, like I used to be like freaking out about it because it's like I'm actually aging, you know, the years are just going by so damn fast. But now I'm like, come to terms with it. I am gonna get older every year. Still gotta pay these adult bills, have an adult life. Unfortunately, can't go back to childhood where we were free with no bills, no scary thoughts and shit about jobs. So yeah, I don't know. I'm obviously gonna have to like set goals in place to like for when I become 30 and stuff like that. But it's like I'm with, like, they're gonna be like mental goals. I'm not necessarily gonna like write stuff down or be mad if I don't finish stuff or whatever. I'm just gonna like try and do a little bit every day, because you know, doing something is better than nothing at the end of the day. Okay, but yeah, that was it for this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye.